Q Country 102.9 presents Roos Day Tuesday, a weekly discussion with SUNY Canton men's basketball head coach Ben Thompson, giving you the inside scoop on all things SUNY Canton basketball. Q Country 102.9, it is Roos Day Tuesday, and joining me in the studio today, rather than head coach Ben Thompson, I have sophomore Danny Santana, sophomore captain Joe Werner, and assistant coach Matt Spencer. Currently, the Roos are 9-8, although 5-1 in their conference, coming off a 3-game win streak, sweeping UMPI this past weekend. Their next game is happening this Friday and Saturday against Husson, an away game, and Husson is 5-0. The preseason polls had Husson winning the conference, while those same polls had SUNY Canton at number 4. Now, Danny Santana, I'd like to talk to you first. As far as Husson being the number 1 ranked in the polls, how big would it be to get a win on their home court?
It'll be very big because they're projected to win the conference, so we beat them. We're in a good spot to host the tournament, so we don't have to go all the way to Maine, do that trip to Maine, so they have to come to us.
Yeah, a lot of these teams that you're playing are in Maine. You just got back from one away trip where you went to UMPI, and like I said, swept them. What's it like having to travel? Does it affect your gameplay?
I wouldn't say affect our gameplay, but you feel a little sluggish when you come off the bus, but through warm-ups, you start feeling good. We just get a good sweat in and you just try to warm up hard.
As the polls had you at number 4, and they had Husson at number 1. You've seen a couple teams thus far already. What's the competition been like in the new conference?
The competition been good. Every team plays hard, and every team we play so far play together. So every time we play a conference team is a challenge. So we just got to treat everyone with appropriate fear and just play basketball.
And you alluded to it earlier that these conference games mean a lot because it does determine the seeding looking at playoffs, and you're looking to get a win against Husson and hopefully have some home playoff games in your future because traveling is it takes a lot out of you. It's way easier to have a home game against a top-ranked team like Husson.
Yeah, way easier.
Now, Joe, I want to talk to you next. As a captain, your sophomore season, what's different between this team and last year's team?
The main difference about this team and last year's team is coming in from last year, we had a lot of freshmen that had to figure out what their role was going to be playing.
Yeah.
This year coming in, we have a lot of returners coming in, so we know our roles, we know how we play together, we know how to match up. And us coming back from last year, all the freshmen coming in this year, we were able to kind of push them in the correct direction. So we're able to voice and they'll listen to us.
Okay.
And now since we're a young team, we're fast, we're more quick, and we're able to push the ball and actually play how we want to play.
Yeah, so all those younger players who were really just forced into the starting lineup last year now have a little seniority, now have a little maturity. They understand the pace of this game. You were in that position just last year as a freshman. Now you find yourself as a sophomore captain. With the captain title, has it made you more vocal on and off the court?
I think it's made me more vocal on certain situations. Coach looks to me to kind of talk to some people at times, depending on what's going on in daily life. If he ever feels like someone's a little down, he'll try to pull me to the side and have me talk to them, see if they're okay. If there's any issues on the bus or in the hotel or anything, he'll look for me or the other captains to kind of figure out how to deal with it, so he doesn't have to get involved every time.
And now coming down the stretch, we're 16, 17 games through this season. Have you noticed the freshmen coming up big and maturing more as the season progresses?
From the beginning of the season until now, I feel like some of the freshmen took pretty big steps and contributing a lot in practice and everything. They haven't had too much playing time yet, so it's hard to see what they're really capable of doing.
Yeah.
But you can never really count them out because we're kind of like a bull in a china shop. You just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, so they're contributing good minutes when they do see the court. When we come back, we'll be talking about the upcoming game against Husson and what it's like to travel all that way to play a conference game, as well as a statistic that SUNY Canton actually leads all D3 colleges in. We'll be talking to assistant coach Matt Spencer about that when we return for Roos Day Tuesday on Q Country 102.9. Q Country 102.9 presents Roos Day Tuesday, a weekly discussion with SUNY Canton men's basketball head coach Ben Thompson, giving you the inside scoop on all things SUNY Canton basketball. Q Country 102.9, we're back with part 2 of Roos Day Tuesday. With me in the studio, I've got sophomore Danny Santana and sophomore captain Joe Werner, along with assistant coach Matt Spencer. Now, Danny, I asked you right before we got on the air, what has been the biggest surprise for you this season, and what's been the highlight thus far?
The biggest surprise is how all of us meshed together on the team. Really, in the beginning of the season, we had our up and downs like every team, but like as we got further into the season, everybody starting like really get it. Like everybody know their role. Everybody like starting to really play as a team together.
Yeah.
The biggest highlight of our season is our success in the conference so far, because we know we got a lot of tough teams in the conference.
Yeah.
And right now we're sitting in second place. So like right now, like we just focus on Husson. We just taking it game by game. So we just ready for conference play. Hopefully we can get a win.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, this is SUNY Canton's first year in this conference, the NAC. So really, you had no idea what to expect. So yeah, it might have come as a bit of a surprise. In the preseason polls, like I said, you were ranked number 4. Do you feel like you're kind of shocking people, or did you expect this from the Roos of their first year?
We really expected us to like really go far in the conference, because we know we have talent. We just have to put it all together. And when Coach tells us all the time, he thinks like we're the most talented team in the country. So we just got to put it together, and we just got to just work hard every day in practice, bring it every day, and just have that mindset of always being the underdog. We always got to be the one to fight, always bring the fight to them, not them bring the fight to us.
Now, you mentioned there that your coach says that he thinks you're the best team in the country, and some people might be listening and say, well, that's maybe a stretch. They're a D3 team. There's these big name schools that have a lot more talent. But actually, your school, SUNY Canton, just a small spot on the map, leads all D3 schools in the nation in one certain category. I want to talk to assistant coach Matt Spencer about that. The Roos lead all D3 teams in the nation in blocked shots per game, 6.5 per game. Now, to put things in perspective, that's second across all levels of competition, D1, D2, D3, only to Duke. Duke only leads SUNY Canton in this category. Now, do you think that that's a credit to the players or the coaching?
Yeah, it's a real cool stat that we have. The way the coaching staff preaches, the way we play defense, we have a really big roster. You know, we have a guy in 7 foot, Andrew Fitch. Obviously, he does a really good job of getting block shots. Mm-hmm. But the way we play defense is just to really play our hands up high. You know, we're big enough to where we can block shots standing up, where if our hands are up high, guys are coming at us and we can just get those block shots really not even without jumping. And our guards do a really good job of getting chase down blocks in transition, or whether or not they're just playing good solid defense. So really, it's a mixture of kind of what we're preaching to the guys of how to play defense, how to block shots, and as well as we have a lot of athletic guys that can really get up there, play above the rim, and get those block shots as well.
Now, you played basketball for the SUNY Canton Roos. You know what it's like to get a shot blocked. To be blocking 6.5 shots per game, that's a mental thing. When you're going up to take a shot, you're a great scorer, and you start off the game, you get blocked twice. All of a sudden, you're going to be having a rough game. How does that stay with you throughout the entirety of a game?
Yeah, when guys come at the rim, even when I played, you know, if you're not blocking shots, you're altering shots. And that's a really big key going into the game. Entering, crunch time, guys don't really want to drive when they know they have to go against guys that are 7 foot, 6'7", 6'8", and, they might get their shot blocked. It's really demoralizing for the other team when they know they're driving and, their shot gets blocked. Mm-hmm. That really leads to transition buckets for us offensively and really brings the momentum to our side when we're playing in a game.
Yeah, certainly an advantage that the Roos have, because a lot of people think, getting back into a game when you're down has to be offensive, but defense plays a big role in that too.
They always say defense leads to a good offense, so we're kind of proud of having that stat as all those block shots.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure the SUNY Canton Kangaroos hope to bring that strong defense to this next game against Husson this weekend. But for their next home game, that'll happen January 25th. It is a conference game against Northern Vermont University Johnson at 5:30 p.m. That's a Friday. But then they'll be playing that same game back-to-back on Saturday. So come down and watch the SUNY Canton Kangaroos as they take on another conference game. Thank you guys so much for coming in, and go Roos.
Go Roos.